Okay, these are the thing actually. Now I'm going to case studies. Whatever the thing, the basic thing I already just said. Now I'm going to case study. So from this case study, if you will get the idea how actually in the paper how it represents. Okay, as I mentioned, just I just published few articles regarding the SLR. So before actually going to before going to case study, just I start with my own paper. This is my paper. It is published in Results in Engineering. So just I arrange all the paper, all the case studies chronologically depending on the impact factor and CITES score. So this Results in Engineering is impact factor 5 now, CITES score 4.5. So if you wanted to know about the what is impact factor, what is the CITES score, you can go to the BRWF YouTube channel. You will find lots of actually video tutorials regarding this. So okay, for this case study, for this result, just see clearly the title. The title is actually recent progress in TiO2, titanium dioxide, titanium dioxide based photocatalyst for conversion of CO2 to hydrocarbon fuel, a systematic review. So the keyword here you can find the keyword is actually TiO2, that is titanium dioxide, and another keyword is photocatalyst because titanium dioxide has lots of application except the photocatalysis. So here I only just wanted to see the photocatalysis behavior of titanium dioxide. So titanium dioxide photocatalysis also can use in lots of fields. But I wanted to see for the conversion of CO2 carbon dioxide to hydrocarbon fuel. So that means from this actually title comes from our objective. So from this title we'll get the relevant keyword. For this article, the relevant or important keyword is titanium dioxide, and another thing photocatalyst, another thing the conversion of CO2, and the application is hydrocarbon fuel. So you will see whenever I go for searching, I use that actually keyword to search my article. Okay, I'm going to next slide. Okay, in the table, I just mentioned this is also important. You can mention whatever the database you use, whatever the searching string or searching query string or searching string you use. You can clearly define in the table. For example, this one, I mentioned here in the table that that's a searching string used in this study. So I use Scopus and Web of Science and another database. Just here I mentioned only the Scopus and Web of Science. What is actually searching string? From this table, you can see I use the into the parenthesis. Also, I use the two inverted comma. I use TiO2. So if you search TiO2, in most of the paper, they can just accept TiO2. They can use titanium dioxide. Or as I mentioned, titanium dioxide is a photocatalyst. You paper can use TiO2 photocatalyst. So or I use the Boolean operator or because I wanted to just see titanium dioxide or titanium, whatever the form I wanted to see all the form. Then here you can see I use the double comma. In the first comma and last comma is compulsory. First bracket and last bracket is a compulsory. The second bracket actually is for actually the first keyword. Then I put the and. I put the Boolean operator and. So why I put the and? Because I initially I use only the keywords related to materials. Then I am going to for application. So that means I wanted to see material and application. Only the material. If you search, you will get lots of articles. But my objective is actually I wanted to see the effect of this material, the application of that material for CO2 reduction. That's why I use and. That means I need first keyword and second keyword combining all the articles. So all the articles actually they inform that TiO2 and also CO2 reduction, all the things. That's why in the bracket also you can for carbon dioxide, with CO2 in the symbol you can use, or also you can use carbon dioxide. And also the reduction of carbon dioxide, conversion of carbon dioxide, you can write all the things. If you write all the things, you will get the highest number of articles. In the just Scopus searching, when I go for searching Scopus, I found 337 articles. 300, okay, I make it zoom. 337 articles. But for Web of Science database, I found 707 articles. So as I mentioned, there is some possibility. If we combine 337 and 707, it should be near about 1050. But whenever I use the exclusion, I use the duplicates, I exclude the duplicates. That means there are some articles we actually mentioned in the Scopus, also in the Web of Science. Then I found 858 papers. That means compared to 1050, just actually more than 200 actually paper is a duplicate. That means same paper I just mentioned here. So after applying the actually screening, I found 858 papers. Also, I use here, when I just here the show the Prisma guideline, I use one of the reviewer also asked me whenever we submit our paper, why you use only the Scopus and the Web of Science, you have to search other database also. At the time, I use other database also. This other database, whenever I use other database, then I found 171. That means combining all, overall duplicate is 201. That means I have to exclude that duplicate result. Okay, now in the screening process. In the screening process, so total actually the number of article was actually initial searching 1014 after duplicate searching. So now we have applied the exclusion criteria. So what are generally exclusion criteria? What are the exclusion criteria? Initially we applied the exclusion criteria. The review article, we didn't consider the review articles. Why? Because we need the data. In the review article, the data is actually from other data, not the actually original data. We need for the we are also doing review paper. So that's why we exclude the review articles, book series, also book chapter, conference proceedings, non-English published paper, also paper published before 2018. We didn't actually include. Also meta-analysis, we didn't include. Article in press, we didn't include. And also the not open access article. Because whatever the UMP, our university library have the access, we only use that thing. Because if you don't have the access of this article, how you actually critically review that article? So that's why we also mentioned this thing. Okay, after applying initial exclusion criteria, we found 912. But the thing is, whenever we go for, okay, after exclusion criteria, we found 102 overall just eligible paper. But whenever we actually read that 102 paper, then we found actually, even though we actually we thought this actually related to photocatalysis and purity reduction, but that paper don't have the relevant data. That's why we exclude another few articles, 40 articles. Finally, we get the 62 articles. That means that 62 article we actually critically review. Okay, as I mentioned here, actually we just show the actually in the this global map, we show actually what are the countries, actually number of publications, just depending on the different countries publication. And I use also trend from 2018, 19, 20, 21, last 5 years. What are the trend of these actually topics? We show here. And another thing, for reporting results, you have to actually, for review article, you have to mention what are the key challenges and way forward. That means what actually recommendation from your study. So for actually representing this, you can use any kind of format. I use that kind of format to actually show the challenges and what are the actually way forward. Okay, next case study, I'm going to just show the this one actually published in Environmental Research, impact factor 8.3, the CITES score is 11. So this article also one of our colleague of CUET, he published. This actually paper is I found this is interesting, though this is also systematic review. If you just see the title, the vulnerability of Australia to heat wave. So he actually the title is heat wave, vulnerability and heat wave for Australia, and what is an actually systematic review on influencing factors. We wanted to see the influencing factors, impact and mitigation also. Three things. Influencing factor, what are the influencing factor for heat wave vulnerability in Australia, and what is the impact, and what is the mitigation option? How actually we can mitigate this? So he also used same thing actually in the keyword. What are the keyword he used? Just see the tabulate in the table, the relevant keyword, and use the Prisma just flow diagram. And another important thing actually I found interesting for this article, he used a conceptual map. This is in the figure, he actually conceptually just show what are the topics he will cover. He just before going to the description, he just give the message here. For example, for vulnerability, he see the sensitivity analysis. For what kind of sensitivity? For sensitivity, he just covered socioeconomic factors such as income, education, and other things. Also demographic, physical, geographical, other thing actually he covered. And for actually heat exposure, he see what are the factors he considered. For environmental factor, he considered temperature, humidity, wind, and for anthropogenic, he population exposure, occupational health hazard, he considered. And for adaptive measure, he considered heat mitigation and heat adaptation. Okay. Then I'm going to another paper. This one actually also published in Current Opinion in Electrochemistry. The factor is 8.5 and side score 12. That paper kind of meta-analysis and systematic review. You can see the title, the trend in using Tier 2 nanotube as a photoelectrode in PEC, that means photoelectrochemical process for wastewater treatment. So the relevant keyword is titanium dioxide nanotube, also photoelectrode, and the PEC process. That means photoelectrochemical process, and application is for wastewater treatment. Okay. Since this is actually meta-analysis, he just collected all the relevant information and do some statistical analysis and present them in a systematic way. Also, he used some for photoelectrocatalysis process. He just prepare interaction map and describe this one how actually photoelectrocatalysis process related to other important parameters. This okay, for social science. This article is for social science. It's also published in Journal of Cleaner and Cleaner Production. That one impact factor 11.1, site score 18.5. You will find that actually you will find this is also systematic review paper, but in the title there is no mention about the systematic review. So this is not. I wanted to show you. This is not compulsory to put in the title systematic review. You can use your own title. So that here actually what is the topic? The mirror on the wall. That means what climate change adaptation strategies are predicted by the Asian fishermen of all. That means what are the actually climate change adaptation strategy that Asian fishermen actually are taking to adapt against the climate change. What are the adaptive strategy they are following? This is the title. And they also use Web of Science and Scuba database. Also, they mentioned in the table what are the keywords or searching string they use. They use precisely. Another important thing actually they put a table. In the table, in the most of the review paper, you will find suppose what are the these are the actually considered paper. The authors that means considered paper, number of paper, and these are actually the topics are covered in the paper. If they just put here the abbreviation, that means government or productivity or the income diversity. Most of the thing they just put actually table. What are the topics they cover? Suppose for example, the first paper they cover GI and also ID. That are the things actually they cover. They just put they put such kind of table. Yeah, you also can for your study you can use that kind of table also. You can clearly define what are the topics actually covered this paper. Then the last one I wanted to show you the actually paper published in Renewable and Sustainable Energy Reviews. Very high impact factor is 15.9 and site score is 26.3. That paper actually the topic, the title is a systematic review and meta-analysis of GIS use. That is related to use of GIS for what? To reveal trends in offshore wind energy. So to predict the offshore wind energy or for to reveal the trend of offshore wind energy research, what are the use of GIS? How people are using GIS, the benefiting. Actually, this is actually the title. That means the keyword is GIS use, then the trend of offshore wind energy and other things. This paper you can see systematic review and meta-analysis both. That means they do the systematic review, also they use the meta-analysis. That means they collect the record information and they use some statistical tool and they just analyze the data and then represent the data. So that's why actually the rigorous work. That's why they can able to publish in a very high impact journal. So another important thing actually you can see here actually they didn't follow the PRISMA protocol. So this is not compulsory for systematic review. You have to follow the PRISMA. But important thing you have to follow any kind of guideline or any kind of method, and you have to clearly explain your guideline or method whatever you follow. Here they just use normal search item. What are the search item? What are the actually their criteria and what are the actually their exclusion criteria, and then how many paper they get. They just use this kind of flow diagram. Their own just style they use, and also they actually here they mention what are the parameters they extracted from different journal articles for meta-analysis. And also for previous article, they use actually this kind of global map to show the actually what are the actually countries doing the research. For example, India, they found actually five number of articles in India. In Greece also five. There is a trend, and also they show in the global map about the different countries and what are the number of articles they found from different countries. And later, since actually this is the meta-analysis, so what are the actually the parameters they extracted? They mention here the maximum depth fixed, also maximum depth, floating depth, wind height, also resolution wind, resolution but all the actually record information. What are the parameters they actually capture or extracted from the articles they mention here? And after actually extracting all the required data, they do some statistical analysis. So, and also depending on this statistical analysis, they actually describe them very precisely and clearly, critically. They describe after the meta-analysis and represent their results. So that's why this actually, since this is actually rigorous for meta-analysis, you have to just know about the statistical background and other tool you have to use, and also you have to extract data precisely. Then you can able to conduct the meta-analysis, also systematic review. So these are the thing actually case studies, and these are the references I use for this workshop I put here. So for your information, you can just get the references and you can download the required papers and you can go through this. So thank you everyone for your kind attendance. This is my address. Now presently I'm living in Malaysia. Right now I'm in Malaysia. This is my contact number. This is also WhatsApp number, and also my email address. If you feel okay, you have something actually, you are really interested to know something, or you are interested to collaborate, or you are interested, you need my help, so you can email me. I'll try my best to reply your this email or WhatsApp, whatever it is. So even also you are really interested to write an literature review, system literature review, you need my help, so we can contribute each other. So thank you everyone for your kind attention.